I would like to share my amplifier systems, single-ended, which I have designed almost about 20 years ago, and today is 2018 in December, and they still sound very good. Nothing has been replaced. Tube lasts longer than man, I think, if designed properly. The first one I designed is the 845 20-watt amplifier, single-ended, monoblock, and it has also a 5B4 or 6B4 driver here, and this is a 12AX7 preamp, and this is the huge heater, what you call this, 845s, and below is the massive transformer right there. The transformer is in the front, and in the back there, that is the choke coil for the transformer, and the capacitors are inside. This transformer, this power supply puts out 1200 volts for the 845s, and that's what it requires to operate. This is the 845s are an old transmitting tubes from China, and so it has a pretty good sound and can give us 20 watts per channel. And so it has a separate power supply so that the system will have a very clean sound, which it does. And this design is 20 years old, which I designed that time. And beside it, you got the other channel here, left and right. And beside it, this red bricks here is the two A3s I designed almost at the same time. And that's a 2A3 right there, and that's a 12AX7, and there's the left and right channel, and the inputs are right there, and the power supply for each brick is down here. So this still sounds good and has been sounding very good ever since I built it, and I never had to change any tube at all. As long as you take care of it, and it is designed right, it's never going to go bad. And recently, this EL34 monoblock, which the other block is right there, I was waiting. I designed this almost about 6 or 7 years ago, and I call the poor man's high-end amplifier because it's less expensive than these two. And EL34s are very much easy to find, but I had only one block of power supply and tried to supply both left and right channel right there, and I didn't like the concept very much, but I didn't have enough funds to make a dual power supply just like these guys. So I tried it, and then yeah, sounds good, but it was not something that I really liked. So I waited until if I had some funds, I can buy the other power supply and monoblock and assemble it. But just recently, look at this power supply. Instead of something like these big, humongous transformers with a choke and large capacitors, you got this tiny switching power supplies, regulated, and it needs 12 volts, around 2 amps, and 3 amps for the smaller guy, because it's supplying low voltage, high current to the heaters right here. You can see the heaters right there. it's lighting up. Yeah, the heater for this guy too. Really quite amazing. This could be possible because the new components like switching transistors, switching semiconductors are very efficient now. Their on resistance is very low. That's why you could, and it can switch at very high frequencies. So you only need a very tiny transformer to switch the same power of a larger 60 Hz transformer. Right there. I tested it. Sounds amazing. Sounds really good. So I ordered only one set, just one, just to test and see if everything works. And it works really good. The numbers, calculated are good. And so I ordered another one for the other EL34 monoblock right here. So once I'm done, I will put another video so that you can listen and see how it's done, how I've done it, and maybe you can, if the people are interested, they can copy it. So that, well, another thing is that the transformers for these EL34s are actually small. And I just 3D printed this, this nice cover. It looks much better. I got my 3D printer right there in the A8, I think it is, which is pretty nice. So, hope you enjoy the video, and it gives you entertainment and also some knowledge on if you're interested in vacuum tube, amplifiers. Naturally, you also need a good power supply, regulated power supply. Because I believe if the power supply is not regulated, it gives you not a good sound. So you regulate the heater voltage, you regulate the main high voltage line, and you make the tube, this tube, make it really happy. Give it the right voltage, right biasing system, and it's gonna work for you forever. I don't care how long, it's gonna work for you forever if you have designed it properly. A lot of people say, oh, tubes don't last that long. It can last very long. There was an experiment by one of the big tube manufacturers. They turned on the tube 24/7, and after 10 years, tube was still working. So they concluded they stopped the experiment and concluded that this tube, a tube if properly designed, circuits around it, would last forever. And then it's been 20 years already. These designs is 20 years already, and I haven't changed anything. I also designed another system for a friend of mine, and when I sold it to him, I gave him an extra tube, thinking that, hey, the tube could die in a few years. But guess what? He still has that tube I gave him, and he still have the original system. It still sounds as new as it, like 20 years ago. So because we have new components, resistors, capacitors that are newer and better than 50 years ago, the components last if you build them to last. Well, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. Hi YouTube, this is Robert, and I'd like to share with you another vacuum tube that I already designed almost about I would say 15 years ago, based upon a Russian tube, a 6C33. It has a dual plate tube here with very low plate resistance, and this is called a boob tube because of the nipples right here, the 3 nipples. Kind of alien thing. This is very comparable to in power to the the Chinese 845 transmitting tubes. And I designed the circuit already, but I only have this and some parts. I don't have the output transformers, but I can get them. And I was shy to kind of make this system because the power supply would be quite expensive. I gotta buy both, two of each for the power supply, and it'll be as big as that guy. So that'd be quite expensive. But because of this inexpensive switching power supply, I have hope now. I can build a system and listen and see how good it sounds. And I bet you it's really good. It sounds really good. Because I've been, designing for, this single-ended tube amplifiers for quite some time. Just on my own. I'm an avid fan of single-ended tube amplifiers because I believe they sound the best. So I hope that I could, I'll have the funds to get the expensive part, which is the output transformer for this. Then I'll have to buy 2 and all the jazz. All the other parts are quite inexpensive. It's gonna be the same topology as this design right here. There'll be a preamp, a driver, and the main one. Instead of the 845, it will be the 6C33. And since this requires a much lower voltage than the 845s right there, which is 1,200 volts, this only requires, I think, less than 300, if I remember right. I gotta go back to my designs. I don't have a good memory, but thank God for the computer that can store my PDF files. I can go back to it and refresh what I have designed, refresh my memory on what I have designed. So stay tuned. When I get the parts, I'll put another video on how I put it together and how it sounds. And I'm going to demo this to my friends, audiophile friends, and ask them what they think. And also make a video of that so that you guys can hopefully kind of be there while we're doing the demo on it. Thank you. Thanks a lot for watching. Please share, subscribe, and like. You have a nice day.